Hi, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about training your puppy. Um, as I mentioned in the other video, um, one of the first things you want to do is to teach your dog to go outside to go potty. And often, when you first bring your puppy home, no matter what the size, you'll want to carry the dog to the door that you want them to go outside through. I recommend that you put the crate near the door so that you want them to go out through to go outside to go potty, because first thing when they wake up in the morning, that is the first thing that they want to do is to go out. So when they do go out, make sure that they go pee and poop, that they do both. Um, and any time that you bring your dog back in to go uh, to play for the 10 or 15 minutes after they've been outside, always make sure that they do both before you allow that. If they just do one, then they have to go back into the crate. That way you just avoid an accident. Sometimes they will put off doing the second one till later, and so you just want to wait and be patient. Um, and it just helps you to know that they have relieved themselves totally, so that when you do bring them in, you feel confident that you have 10 or 15 minutes that you can play with your puppy. And then once you play with them for that amount of time, uh, or 20 minutes, that's, you start to stretch a little bit there, but take them back outside because they've been excited and you've been playing, and take them outside. This time they probably will just pee, and then bring them back in and put them in the crate. Um, but during this time that you have uh, them for the 10 or 15 minutes after they've relieved themselves, you have an opportunity to train your puppy. The first and most important command is for them to come to you. A lot of people, uh, I've seen them, they have a dog or a puppy and they want them to come, but the puppy keeps running away. And the owner is running after them and the puppy runs further. So uh, when your puppy might accidentally get out of the car or out of the yard, and you want to make sure that they'll come to you and you don't have to run after them. So teaching them their name and the command come is so important. And the way that we do that is play past the puppy. Um, to play past the puppy, you put a person on one side, or if you have a hallway, I think hallway works best because there's less distraction. But you would put one person on one end of the hall and another person on the other end of the hall. And you would have some treats in, each person would have some treats. And what I use is Old Roy snack sticks, and I'll take the sticks and I use a butter knife and cut them into tiny little slices. And so I'll give some to one person down the hall and one to myself. And you get the puppy and you say, come, in my case, Dixie, come, Dixie, or Dixie, come. And you have the puppy come to you and you praise them. Oh, good girl, come. And you give them a little tiny piece of the treat. And then the other person down at the other end of the hall, they say, come, Dixie, come, girl. And have Dixie go down to the other person and they praise her and say, good girl, come. And give her the treat. And you can do that for 5 minutes. Usually that's all the attention span they have for uh, learning something new like that. But if you do it regularly, and it will be no time before your puppy will know their name and will come every time you call their name. And you say, come Dixie, and they'll come to you. So you have to practice it regularly to reinforce it with your puppy. And if you can do it daily, that's great. If you can do it 3 times a week, that's pretty good too. But the more that you do it, the better. All right. The next, you might want to teach them to sit. So in between times that you play pass the puppy, you can train your puppy to sit. And I'll do a video on some training at a later time, but once you start introducing more commands, you can change up past the puppy by saying, come Dixie, and when she comes, you praise her, good come, then have her sit and give her a treat. So you can add other commands during your training periods. So I hope that you'll take time, because that's what it requires, to have a good puppy and eventually a good dog, a good citizen dog. You want to make sure your puppy is trained. If you have opportunity to go to a nearby training center for puppy classes, that would be great, because you learn a lot by going to these classes. So I will try and make a few videos of teaching different commands so that you'll have somewhere to start, and then we'll just go from there. So, it's important to do things consistently, not to yell at your puppy, not to hit your puppy when you're trying to work with them. But if you feel like you're not being patient, put your puppy back in its crate. And after a long period of training, take your puppy out one more time to see if they'll relieve themselves again, and then put them back in the crate. You want to have a good dog, one that doesn't jump up on people or bite people or anything like that. So it's well worth the effort to train your puppy so that you can enjoy them and other people can enjoy them as well. I will mention here, when you bring your puppy home, that if you have children or other animals, that you will want to protect your puppy from those individuals by either keeping them in the crate so that the other dogs can sniff them and get to know them through the crate, but never putting them out unsupervised with other dogs that are new dogs that your puppy doesn't know, or even children. You always want to make sure that the experience that your puppy has with children is a good one. Any child under about 5 should never be left unsupervised with a puppy. Anytime they interact with the puppy, you should be right there. And you should hold the puppy. You should show them how to pet the puppy. And maybe they could pour the food in the bowl or something. But they should not be allowed to play with the puppy unsupervised, because puppies just normally like to bite or run after or um, jump on, and they don't know the difference, and they think maybe this little person is just a litter mate or something, because they're small. So never leave children unsupervised. Any child under 5 definitely should be supervised. And if they are 5 and above, uh, and a young child, let's say maybe up to 7, you want to teach them proper care of puppies and show them how to train puppies. Let them be involved with playing past the puppy or teaching the puppy to sit. Um, but you want to watch out for the smaller children and keep them separate. I do not recommend people with small children getting a new puppy. When your children are all above the age of 5, then that might be a good time to get a puppy. So, because it's a lot of work, and raising children is hard enough, and adding a puppy in the mix, you know, it's just overwhelming. So you don't want your puppy to have a bad experience with children, grabbing them or choking them or pulling on their ears or anything like that, because the natural reaction of a puppy is to bite back when they're hurt. So, a child might be rough housing with the puppy and the puppy bites them, and then the parents get upset either with the dog or you might hit the dog or something. You never do any of that stuff. You want it to be a good experience. So I'd hold off on having a puppy until everyone was of age that they can help and contribute to the training of the puppy. All right. Well, I hope these are a few tips that might help, and um, in the future, like I said, we will work on doing some training videos where we can just do basic commands, teaching your puppy how to do the basics. All right. Thank you, and I look forward to helping you along your journey with your new puppy.